What is up? Comic book Live, everybody. We are here. We are ready to rock. And Sam's gonna do the best intro he learned that he was gonna do 10 seconds ago. He can. And first, right over here. Oh shit! Damn it. Okay, whatever.
It's a family-friendly show. Come on.
We have Tom Stu Divine, the one, the only Sioux Falls Highlander. Right?
Hey Sam.
Okay,
Thanks
got
for
it.
having me on.
And next, right after that, we got John on demand. What is he on demand to do? It is a mystery. Who knows? And then we have the star, the only one, the pinnacle that there ever will be. Mark D. Shelton. He's in the house. He's ready. He's gonna break. He's gonna tell us something crazy tonight, and we just don't know it yet.
Oh damn, dude! I can't wait, Mark. Wow.
And we're here to talk about some books. We're going to talk about our favorite covers today. And I now have the power, I just realized this, to give off the minute warm-up. And today we're going to give this one to John on demand.
Oh, man. All right. Well, yeah, I will just wing it then as best I can. Tonight, I thought we were jumping into books because I did not read the prompt at all for the show. We take this very seriously here at A Comic Book Look. But I just wanted to actually give a kudos and a big shout out to comic book creator Pat Shand, because two of the books I read, Destiny New York issue number 1 and the Aza Barbed issue number 1, both written by him. And so when I was reading it, I'm like, wait a minute. And I checked the writer and I was like, that makes sense. Okay. Also, did anyone else, am I going crazy, but does this link up with the Coffee Badass Barista book that came out earlier this year? Anybody read that?
I read the Badass Barista book.
Because it was in here. It's that same feel. It's that black and white artwork, and the character of this book goes to the Green Bean coffee shop, and I just felt this sense of familiarity with the barista.
Do you have that issue around? Does anybody have that barista issue?
I didn't read it.
I think
yeah,
I do. Give
the
me
Green Bean.
Yeah,
if you have it, we're gonna completely solve this mystery, because I'm wondering if there's some meta, like this is all one universe kind of situation going on. I'm a huge fan of that. While I'm doing that, Sam definitely has the reins tonight. I'm just gonna sneak in a couple comments here. Sunny D is checking in with us here. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, sir, and from YouTube as well. Randy Owens, hi you all. Wave, and wave to you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, Randy. Seriously, not serious. Boom. That's right. Sunny D, good to see you, man. We still need to have our virtual cup coffee sometime. But I just wanted to lift that question up because it was just so interesting. In our books, that we're working on, Sam's a part of it. We're actually looking at a similar formula, which is really hilarious. And the fact that I see it in the industry just makes me so happy.
It's definitely a thing.
So,
it's
I love that. It's just like a little, Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so is it Black Mask?
Yes.
Okay, Black Mask.
And who are the characters working?
Okay.
We got to get the names of the baristas here. So I have Augustin and Trinity.
Okay, so first,
Mark, have you read this book?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
course,
I'm the one who read this one.
Mark is our gangster ass barista, so I
That's
just
true.
He is. It really was supposed to be written around Mark's life story.
What's it called in yours? The Green Bean?
The Green Bean.
Yeah, so it's definitely the same one. Now I'm trying to get to the people that, because we got Green Bean right here.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that is the logo for Green Bean.
Yep.
Now let's see if we can get a character.
So Trinity and Augustine.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I was reading it and I was like, what? Like, that's
really cool.
awesome. Yeah.
That's really fun to see, though, sometimes when
Yeah.
there's like a surprise.
And of all books, those two, because this one is literally Destiny, New York. My girlfriend broke up with me, so now I run the Mystical Mafia. And then that one's about a badass coffee barista. And then they
Why
link
not,
up, and
right?
I'm like, that's fantastic.
Dude, I did
love
not
that.
know those were linked at all, John.
I didn't either.
And
So-
they are the exact same characters with the same names, and
Yep.
it's a running story. And damn, nice.
Wow.
King of continuity, baby.
Yeah. Comic book journalism at its finest. That's my minute to win it.
That's a
I love
sick
it.
minute to win.
That was a
indeed.
wonderful 1 minute to win it. Awesome.
What's that book called? Destiny NY?
Yeah. And it's the covers are really cool. The interiors are in just black and white. I loved it though. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So
I'll have to look
But-
for it.
if I catch a trade of it or a whole set, I'll probably scoop the whole thing just because it was pretty fun. So
Yeah.
So what would you guys like to do first? Do you want to do present the books we bought this week, or do you guys want to start with the covers and then go into the books we bought this week?
I say we go straight into covers because
All right.
I didn't get to the comic shop today.
I wanted to call this out really quick. Crazy you can link those out of all the books you've read. That's completely fair. I was very
It is kind
surprised
of
myself.
particular.
We Sunny D, just so you know, we have these moments every once in a while where that light bulb just goes off when you're reading a book and you're like, what the heck? I already met this character like once, like earlier this year or in a previous run, stuff like that. So this does happen from time to time, and that's just clever writing. And it's so fun. So shout out to the creative team on those books. That was very well done.
That kind of reminds me of in Action Comics 1059. If y'all haven't read that yet, have we read that all or wanted to read it yet?
I haven't.
So in that book, they reveal that the main villain in it is a pull from this Superman annual called Superman Batman The Authority issue 1, and it was like I kind of took it as the Dark Multiverse's last hurrah.
Sure.
It was like because in this book, Tempest Huguenot dies, the main person who's surrounding this area, and the whole main villains were the Lords of Shadows, which is like the League of Shadows taken to like the 10th degree. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a fun little end to the story. Yeah, that good for the Dark Multiverse. Good swan song. And it's like, no, the Lords of Shadows are back, and they're in the Action Comics. And I'm like, what a pull. And it just out of nowhere, they were like, yeah, let's bring that back. I'm like, I love that. I love that. It's rewarding as a reader. So I imagine
it
Johnny
definitely
felt the
is.
same.
You feel smart as a reader when that happens. No doubt about it.
Mhm.
Like,
So, yeah, I
I'm
can-
actually very smart.
I read that issue. Thank you very much.
Is that a dig at glasses, Tom?
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
That's what all three of you guys.
That's amazing. Watch Tom get glasses now. Oh, okay.
I only don't want glasses because I already lose all the other things I need to have all the time. So it's like if I had glasses, that's just one more thing I'm going to lose or break.
eventually, they just become your face.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's get down to the covers, gentlemen.
Ooh,
I will go first, just to I don't know.
We're just gonna do random order of the three, or are we gonna do like a top three where we
And,
count
I mean,
the
let's-
number one?
And you know what? I'm gonna just steal a little bit here
Okay.
because we got to build this thing up, right? I mean, 2023 has been a really, really good year in comics, and so every Wednesday we've been to the shop picking up new comics, and we see a lot of covers. If you think of all of the covers that us four have looked at in the last year, that's a lot of covers because we don't pick up every single book we see. John and Sam worked at a comic shop. John just shaking his head. No, I do pick up every book, which is true. If you look at John's backlog that he needs to read. So, but John and Sam worked at a comic shop this whole year. That's looking at a lot of comics. So yeah, but today, because it's 2023, it's the end of the year. We're gonna start talking about our top things of 2023. And so this is an idea that Mark had, the main man, of course, with the mustache coming up.
Pinnacle.
The mustache has a brain of its own. So it will come up with these great ideas like this sometimes. And we're going to do some year-end episodes. And so this episode is going to be our covers episode. So we've all collectively picked our 3 best covers of 2023. And then we're going to share those with you. And so now I'll turn it back over to Sam, who is the hostess with the mostess, to lead us on this extravaganza of covers.
I'm glad you did that. I think that sets us up
Extravaganza.
much better than what I was doing there. I like that actually. So yeah, I liked what Mark was saying. Let's rank. I say we rank them. We do our thirds, our seconds, our firsts.
Boom.
We all have 3. So I guess let's start with this one. And a lot of mine are more recent, but and they did speak to me, I would still say. The first one is Image Comics, The Enfield Gang Massacre #1.
God damn it, Sam.
I just listen. I saw this. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Hell yeah.
How funny is that, Sam?
You know what? It just goes to show you have good taste.
Guys, we just talked about how many covers there are. We just talked about how many different things we could potentially choose. This book didn't just like come out last week, so it's not recency bias.
No,
it was this came back out in July, so this is straight up the middle of the year.
That's fantastic.
I think we have to give this book its flowers though, for that reason alone. Because
I'm gonna put it back down, but just know that Sam, we have that's insane that we both picked the same cover of something.
Well, I think we've both been talking about it quite heavily as a book too. So, but like, why is this popular? Why is it popular? Why do I enjoy this? Why does Tom enjoy this? I'm not going to speak fully for Tom here, but at least I can say, if you go onto the thing and you're going to see a lot of people in spandex and in sci-fi outfits, or maybe shooting laser pistols, or maybe they're doing this and then you get this kind of old classic gritty cowboy look to the photo. It's like it kind of makes you go back to all those graphic novels that was written back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s about cowboys, and like the smell of those books or something, and like they put you in the mindset of just like, this is going to be an old classic adventure, one that like I'd probably watch with my granddad or something that like, which very much the book is, and it just bounces off the page. Just look at the artwork and look at the line art in this page that you probably wouldn't see unless you were like ogling the art like I was doing. But in a thing full of like a lot of characters based in science fiction and based in just cool guy with gun, there is a bounce to just what the grittiness of a cowboy story is. It's probably the most realistic kind of like fiction we have a lot of times. But so yeah, this just really bounced off the page, and I just had to get it immediately. It just spoke to me.
Boom! That's such a good one, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
All right, whomever's next, I suppose.
Oh, really quick, Taylor's checking in with us here from Rainbow
Taylor.
Comics, Lincoln, Nebraska. Celebrity herself, El General of Nebraska. She runs it. That is her kingdom. Shout out to Taylor. Thank you for tuning in.
I say we go around the horn since Sam went, and then we'll go Mark, then John, then me. We'll just keep on going around in a circle.
We'll make it happen.
Clockwork, baby.
Oh, at number 3 for me, I got Hollow's Eve. This was issue number 1. This is the variant. Cool. I'm pretty sure she was just introduced. It was towards the end of 2022, if not beginning of 2023.
Yeah, like in the middle of like July or something. Like
last
year. I knew she's a newer character though. Really love her, and I love this cover right here. It's a variant to issue number 1, but really just captures her powers. Where whatever mask she wears, she takes on the powers of that mask. So like she can be like Dracula there, or Cap Wolf. So I just very cool new character, very cool cover, and definitely be my 3rd pick right there.
Heck yeah!
Oh, dude, that is a sick pick. Who did the art on that?
That's a good Chris Allen. It was one of the Stormbreakers.
That's cool.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
They were doing a bunch. That Chris Allen. I think he was doing a few of those. Yeah, that is a great cover. So dynamic. Popping out. It's and then how hard it is to do that many characters on one cover. It's like that takes time. It's awesome.
I think those are the types of covers that you kind of wish the whole book looked like that. Yeah. You understand that it's not that's really hard to do, but like, man, if it did though,
yeah,
that it was very pretty.
Well, I am really annoyed that I didn't think of that one. But I actually went in a completely different direction because I love that cover too. That Hallows Eve, I think I got all the covers. It was so crazy. I love that character though. Solid pick, dude, for real.
I love that John's annoyed he didn't think of that cover. Well, damn it.
Yeah, I just failed at everything. So,
great.
My first one, I actually picked it because of the irony of the whole thing. So we know how I feel about, Cyclops from the X-Men,
Of course,
right?
Yes.
Little bit of a crybaby, right? Everything, and finally, it turns out that this Fall of X event brings out the best in us, including the best Cyclops cover I think I've seen in quite a while.
Wow.
And so I am going to be lifting up the, I'm assuming the C cover by, hold up. I just had it. It was by credentials, Miguel Mercado.
Nice.
And I really like this cover. He is looking BA. I love the layout. I love the color. I love how the branding matches it with the glowy red vibe to it. This was, to me, it was very clever. And I've become more of like an art dork in terms of what I like and what pulls me in. And when I saw this cover right away, I just said, Mom Arm the A cover out of the way. And I was like, nah, I'm going to rock with Scott Summers, which I never say in the history of the show.
100%. You definitely don't, unless it's to make fun of him.
Right, exactly. And I can't make fun of this. And so shout out to this cover. So this is my third place for 2023.
Cyclops, if he's done right in art wise, looks very striking because you can make like his whole suit black or whatever. You don't see anything but maybe his mouth, and then you can just see the visor, and again, like maybe it's heating up or something. He can if you do him right, he is a very like striking character design.
Yeah, no, you're right, John. That is, I really love that. That's how you started it out, because it's such an the design aesthetic of the book is actually almost better than the art, right? Choosing this super dark. They only have one color on John's cover, and then the rest is white and black. So it's just like, think of the one that Mark just showed. There's probably, 150 colors on that cover. And, it's bright and it's bold and it's, vibrant. But then John's, it's true. Like, this is a designer who knew he was going to go for this, some sort of kind of, very, you get the feeling as soon as you see it. It's like, look how white. Scary. Yeah, look how white his eyes are. That pops out with the barcode, the label, and the logo. And so then that like draws it so much. And then with everything being so dark, it's just truly a beautiful design. And as much as I think, Cyclops is such a pussy, I do think that cover is like makes him look bad ass.
Yeah. That's one of his best suits as well.
Yeah. What's that, Mark?
That's one of his best suits as well. Yeah. I love that style of Cyclops.
Exactly. And he has a couple really good covers. I mean, there's some good covers with Through His Legs while he's blowing stuff up and stuff like that. I mean, he has good covers, but John, I hadn't seen that cover, and I love that you picked that, man. That's really cool. So and it kind of goes into my third one, which is Hexacon Bridge. I'm going to move my lamp a little bit here.
That's cool.
So this is really different, right? It's not, the reason I chose it was because it seems like it's fine art. And then it seems like it's actually a graphical art package instead of a comic book cover, right? So this could be, I feel like, a flyer for some sort of art exhibit. It could be a, the cover of some sort of magazine that was, talking about who knows what, maybe even a magazine from the future. But you can tell it's very, very on purpose. Everything about this is on purpose. All of this, super, super dark logo to the light open area where there's absolutely nothing, and very purposely absolutely nothing, with the image logo balancing out the top, bottom, and then that side. And then with this, painting that looks like nothing else. Now, this book I got because of the cover. I don't know the artist. I didn't know anything about it. I ended up reading it, and this is where I think having best cover is really fun, right? We get to highlight these books that are best cover because I actually don't like this comic book. It's not very good. I like after I read it, yes, it's a one person and they're telling a story and they're doing all the writing and all the art, and it's it's such a clean package. But the actual storytelling, it's not doing exactly what I love or anything like that. And so in turn, I ended up picking up the second issue, not because I love the first one, but because I loved the cover so much, giving it another chance. And yeah, I could see myself maybe if I, had some extra time going back and reading the rest, but it wasn't something that I needed to read right away, but something that I'm a graphic designer as well. I enjoy looking at how people lay out things in so many different ways. And as we're looking at all these different comics today, I'm sure you're going to see some that are just very different than, each other's. And I feel like this one would stand on its own as well. So Hexagon Bridge, this is number 2. Their first one was just like this and looks good as well. But I just actually liked this digital painting.
That's cool.
A little bit.
Would you say that's Dali-esque?
Yes, I would definitely say it's Dali-esque. You have a polar bear that's riding in the back of
a polar bear. I didn't even think. I thought it was a little tuft of cloud from where I was looking.
Polar bear climbing out of a backpack of a person kind of walking and who knows what. And, I wouldn't say it's Dali as it's turning a melting clock or, it doesn't look like a skull and it's not a skull, or whatever, some of those mind tricks. But still, very Dali-esque in the color palettes, the tone of this back wall, just something that I thought was cool for sure.
Super quick here. Taylor was weighing in. You guys should be keeping an eye out for the Luana Vecchio covers. She is killing it, and I'm obsessed with her work. And she also did the interiors to this week's Poison Ivy issue.
Ooh, cool. Okay. Love it when you get a good cover artist is doing interiors. All right, so that brings us back over to Sam.
My turn. So what do I do next?
Decisions.
I think Sam is still picking his top 3.
I just you got to feel what your heart says, So this one's kind of a dorky one. This is Sam's a little bit of a dork with this one.
A cyborg?
No, it's actually Night Terror's Wonder Woman 1.
Oh, okay.
This artist does other things, but what drove me to this one is just like, well, look at it. Look how pretty that art is.
Mm. Is that Jay Lee? Who is that?
I don't know.
And I should say this is Richard Blake. I didn't say that before.
Oh, okay.
Richard Blake. But anyway, sorry.
That was a mighty fine question you had there, my friend. And
he's got it bagged and boarded, guys. I mean, it's going to be checking too and find out. We're going to have to do some Googling. I got
there you go. For the people who watching, if you want to Google that for me, I'd very much appreciate it. But this one in particular, I like it because first thing I saw was Wonder Woman. There you are, Wendy. And I originally thought, I really hoped that the whole cover of the book looked like this because Wonder Woman looked like the first symbol figure for America. She looked like Columbia to me.
Hell yeah.
If you ever looked at that old Continental art that they used to do before Uncle Sam, it was just really pretty. Like this woman draped in she's draped in the flag sometimes. Sometimes she just looks like kind of like a Roman goddess. Sometimes she holds like a lantern. The Columbia Studio Pictures has her that look like that. Like how she was drawn in those kind of reminded me of this cover. And I guess really what just made me happy about this cover was it made me remember that and kind of how much I kind of like that old style and all those weird little cartoons they used to make about the figureheads back then. And
that's
cool, on top of that, they make it kind of scary looking. Like that actually looks like if they made the actual pages that would be pretty freaky. That would make the story very freaky. But
yeah, definitely. I did take a look. It is Jay Lee. So
okay, yeah, that makes sense because Jay Lee's amazing with that kind of stuff. But it's just it makes characters that could look very heroic twisted looking, and it makes characters that are already pretty twisted in Constantine look like more he just embraced his colors truthfully. And it really is just because I'm a big nerd and I loved that it reminded me of that. So I was just like, you know what, we're going for that one. And it's a cool story too.
Yeah, love it, Sam. I think that's a great pick. And Jay Lee has been right. I think getting best covers of the years from different people for like 10 years now. He did all those Stephen King The Stand books. I mean, he's a true cover guru. So love to see him getting on a Wonder Woman cover. You don't see that very often for Jay Lee because he is usually drawing zombies and shit like that. So it's cool.
He had a good Rorschach cover too. I remember that. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, then that would be Mr. Mark.
Cool. Got Conan the Barbarian. This is issue number 2, and this was a Dan Parent variant cover.
Love that
Nothing
one.
to do with that inside story.
No.
But in the
That's
art,
amazing.
Love that so hard. That's so
drinking
good.
slime from a skull here, kind of reminiscent of the slime cup if you're able to get your hands on those. But has nothing to do with the story. Like I said, I don't even regularly pick this up, but I did love that cover right there. And like Sam said, he had a dorky pick. This is kind of a dorky pick, but I really just speaks to me, and I love it. Love the simplicity of it. Love the fun factor of it.
What a flip from what I put out there, and you're like, I love our diversity in our picks here.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. It's I want to see a story now where instead of Archie, it's Conan the Barbarian, but the story is exactly the same.
Did you read the inside of that book, Sam or Mark?
Yes, it was definitely. I could show you like a picture. It's definitely not. It's more like serious.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
The bait
just
and
a
switch.
Dan Parent variant.
So cool, man. I love that. What a great pick.
Well, I don't know how to follow that. That completely rocks my socks. And again, I probably should have considered some of the Archie horror offerings because they had some fun ones. I'm thinking of like the Pop's Diner in tribute to Little Shop of Horrors kind of vibe. That kind of stuff was pretty funny. But my next one is something that I loved this band so much. I love that they're doing all of these band comics through Opus right now. And so I've got to give it up to Evanescence. My Heart is Broken. I adore this cover so much. I loved this band growing up. I actually graduated high school out in Northern Cali, and so Evanescence was huge. And when I went off to college, I took a lot of the sheet music from the first album with me and played it until like 3 a.m, just practicing it like in the basement and stuff, so I would get it memorized. This book is also fun because the credentials on the inside cover pertain to the first short story, because there's a couple in here, but I had to like flip through it rapidly while Sam was talking to find the cover artist, so it is in big bold letters for me. Covers A and B are both by Kelly McKerman. And the other cool thing about this publication is it has our first cover, but it also displays cover B, so you get to look at both of them.
Oh, that's cool. Always love that.
These books, though, by nature are just gorgeous. Like I said, I love Evanescence just for, that snapshot in time. And I don't know, I always love good piano with rock. And so definitely Amy Lee's voice. I just think that she's great. I love her involvement with this book. And this one I'm actually going to reread because when I found it, I was like, I'm going to revisit you. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, I mean, Evanescence is a total vibe, right? I mean, it's totally John's vibe.
Can you put the book back up real quick?
No.
Beautiful painted cover, though.
No.
Doesn't that slightly remind you of Picasso Blue Period?
Yeah, sure.
It's crazy.
No, I get it. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
it's. I mean, obviously very clean than what the Blue Period's doing, but yeah, I get you. I feel you for sure. Good
just
angle.
like sideways analysis there. I was like, how would it be? Like,
let me see. Oh, this is Picasso's Blue.
Here we go with the glasses again.
Right. See, that's when you ever talk about art in the general, you instantly get a little bit more pretentious sounding.
Hey man, we're talking commercial art, baby. Suck on that, art school suckers. That's a great so my second book was going to be Sam's first book, right? So I feel like it is kind of spoiled a little bit, but it doesn't matter because I did have to bring some backups with me that I was gonna, maybe I had to do a switcheroo.
I see something back there that's really cool too.
Yeah, of course. I got Mikey's Sweet Cheeks, of course, best porn book in the industry. But I am going to go with Santos Sisters. So Santos Sisters, right? These are all throwbacks to Archie style. This is right along the lines of Mark's last pick as well. It's just fun and funny. And I love covers that have word bubbles. And this one's good. It's talking about this villain who's in a massive, fidget spinner. That's like her bad guy mobile. And, Elena and Veronica are just absolutely kicking ass. Elena and what is the other one? I can't remember. Anywho, this book is the best. It's so funny. I love it every single week. And then so this will be my second best cover since Sam stole my original one.
Yeah.
Santos Sisters 4.
You gotta love a cover that is also a comic.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's how you all used to be. DC set the standard by putting all golden era comics had a word bubble on it. If you didn't have a word bubble, it would say get a goddamn word bubble on there, else it's not going to print because kids won't know what to order, what to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would love to see more of those come back, honestly.
Yeah, and it is awesome when we see it now. Then Silver Age, that started to go away really quick because artists are becoming the main thing, and you got like amazing artists, right? It's like, do you want to put a word bubble in front of Neil Adams's work? No, not really. So you're just going to show Neil Adams's work, and it's not going to have a word bubble. So yeah, I love a cover with a word bubble.
Jumping in really quick here, Taylor says, Sam, you just need to come hang in the Lincoln store. All we do is talk about art stuff like this.
Consider it done.
So, make it so.
All right, Sam, over to you.
Is it my turn again? Oh wow, okay.
We're in number 1 territory.
Ooh,
all right.
Gold medals.
So this one, this is a certain special one because I think this whole entire series of comic series right now has been putting out incredible covers the entire time.
Ooh.
But I had to go pick my favorite one, and I chose
Cyborg.
No.
Ooh, this is exciting, guys. So he's peppering it in there. It could be anything. They've had covers really good for a long time, so it's coming out. We know he's Love Detective. So
ooh,
it's Detective.
It is. They've been so goddamn good.
Yeah, it's a Detective 162.
Yeah.
This one in particular, but the whole line has just like these beautifully like haunting covers.
Yeah,
and it's just. The whole vibe of the comic is my favorite ever. Just like it's like it's better than the actual Batman stories right now in the better regular Batman book. But this one in particular is especially loved by me because how simple but perfect it is. The amount of like color they choose to use and some of the ones that they don't choose to use here, and just how simple the idea is. What's really in Batman? Just the bat. There's nothing else there.
Who did that art?
It's Evan Eagle. I looked it up while everybody else was talking for a minute.
Wow.
It's beautiful. It's just like it's unfair. It's like you draw something and then you look at what Evan just did here and you're like, okay, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But
God, isn't that the truth, dude? That's such a next level cover, Sam.
It's beautiful looking. It's just like it shows you exactly like you could look at this cover and know exactly what Batman's about.
You could also take the words off of this cover, put it in a frame, and that is true fine art. I mean, it looks crazy. It evokes so many different things.
It's gothic. It's
awesome, dude.
It's like sinister in a way. It's just like, what are you truthfully if we look inside your head? Like, oh, what might fly out? It's like it's scary. It's cool. I just loved it. I love Detective. It's been killer, and this cover is just one of the pinnacle parts of it, I think. So yeah, this one right here. That's number 3. That's number 1.
Badass number 1.
Yeah, very good pick,
dude.
Cool.
All right, Mark.
Number 1. This came out, I want to say like the very first week of January. And I thought at the time,
there we go.
I was like, I don't see how any cover is going to be as awesome as this cover for the rest of the year. I was right. Nothing even comes close to this cover, in my opinion. I love this cover so much. And I believe Chris Burnham did the art for the cover. but it was Creep Show Volume 1, number 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the spinny rack.
Yes.
Yes.
With that old school spinner rack there. She's
That's
loving
cool.
it. The little girl there with the creeper.
Yeah.
The old Creep Shows on the rack, man.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought that was awesome. These are actual covers from the Volume 1 series too. Everything.
Oh, it has Easter eggs in it too.
there.
Oh, I love that.
I like the little bone shelves too on the spinny rack. That's so funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% loved that cover so much. Probably one of my favorite covers ever.
Yeah,
Probably not
scoop
the
up all
favorite
those
cover
EC
ever,
comics.
but top 10, top 20 maybe.
How the heck am I supposed to follow that? Because I actually totally dig that. I think I got Ken that cover too. I was getting him all those Creep Shows. My last one is linked technically to the Hellfire Gala, so it's one of those covers, one of those variants. We are talking about Doctor Strange issue number 5. This came out mid-year. This is the Hellfire Gala variant edition by Daniel Wynn, featuring my girl Wanda, Scarlet Witch.
Ooh.
I like this cover
is-
because it is simplistic in that there's no like big logo or anything like that. She is merely floating. I am loving just everything, the color spacing, the texture to it all, the fact that this is magical, this is art. I mean, this is chef's kiss for me, and it stood out to me right away on the shelves. I remember seeing it, and it was just like, you know, I remember I want to say that I almost wanted to get a second one to like display on my wall, but I talked myself down from it, if I recall correctly, because I was trying to cut down on dupes. But I adore this cover so much, you guys. Like, it was one of my first things off the wall. Like, and I don't follow previews or anything, just to clarify. Like, when I worked at Rainbow, every Wednesday was a surprise for me. Like, I just was like, boom, you know. So yeah.
John, I mean, once again, you have such an aesthetic eye for balance in design, because look at how much negative space John's cover has. It's literally half white. We don't see it as half white, but it is half. It's half of that cover is just blank. But because the other thing is so laid out so dynamically, dude, I agree, John. That cover is fucking awesome, man. How much power is behind this lady right here? It's like, you ain't gonna mess with her. Damn, dude.
Or that cover. Boom. Gold
Great
medal,
pick,
baby. Gold
dude.
medal. Although I think Mark's might be slightly cooler.
I agree. Mark's is cooler.
dude.
Yeah,
And then Sam, I agree too. I was watching those detective covers even while I was there,
Just
and it was
pretty
just
as
fun
hell.
to follow along, you know. And it was just like, oh.
Yeah. You can tell we are at the number one spot because we are at kind of upper echelon books. And yeah, Mark's is the epitome of what a comic guy, we're comic guys, right? I mean, this is it knows exactly who it's talking to. We all love, John has a spinner rack behind him. We all love spinner racks. It's something that is, you know, it conveys comics and old comics and collecting and the history behind comics and the foundation of all of these things that we like now. Like, I agree. Like, I think so far Mark's cover is my favorite cover of the year.
I think Mark is taking this one.
Because it is so good, and I didn't even pick up that book. You know, I don't even read Creep Show, but I mean,
Good.
I'm totally down with all the old Richard Corbin Creep Shows and stuff like that. Super cool. I just don't have them. Anyway, all right, to mine. I don't know if mine's the best, but it's just something that I love the most. Doctor Strange, once again. That's going to be who I'm going with too. So I'm picking a Marvel cover as my top cover, and this did actually come in December of 2022.
Okay.
For the first one. And so this is the first wraparound cover for that I would pick. And I mean, I think you guys can see right here, you know, I'm a fan of psychedelics and weed, and mushrooms. This is right up my alley, right, guys?
I just love the art.
Yep, that's why.
It is. It's just, you know, it's Tradmore at his finest. This, even though it's dated January, it came out in December, right? So I don't know if I could technically pick that wraparound cover, but I would just choose all of the covers.
Yes.
So at some point they changed a little bit where they didn't put this guy in the corner. They didn't put Captain or Doctor Strange in the corner, and then they just allowed him to really do really cool covers. So then they got the full thing out, and it just became this truly amazing cover. They didn't do wraparound covers, right? We still got M&M's, just wraparound cover on the first one. But as you guys know, I complained massively about the ads that were in that. So of course, I actually also bought the artist edition, massive version of it, so I could get the entire thing. And so I got like the wraparound cover and a big version, and every single page throughout here is the best book. So as we are doing top books of 2023 and all the other top things, you might see some more reoccurrences from old Doctor Strange, as this is my favorite cover of 2023.
Well, Taylor's losing her mind here in the comments. I love it. You can pick Dredd, she says, and I did the same thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
God.
Taylor,
I think if
yeah,
you
right. We're both so smart. I would also
Trad.
die for Trad. He's my favorite.
I think if you have Doctor Strange, if you're an artist on Doctor Strange, you got to bring it a little bit, because
And
that's
most don't.
Yeah, there's been a few really good ones there, but Trad really brought it back. And when Kirby was doing Strange, that was Ditko. My bad. Ditko did Strange. That's why all the college kids loved it, because it looked all psychedelic and cool looking, and so that's why he's got a really smaller but strong base of fans. Anytime Doctor Strange has his book, some people are like, oh yeah, that immediately. If the art is really good on Doctor Strange, it's gonna make the book 10 times better.
Yeah.
So I definitely have a guilty confession, Tom. I have collected those. I have not read them yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't have to read them. You can just flip
Are
through
they?
them.
Is it in continuity with what's going on with the death of Doctor Strange and how he came back and stuff, or is it just its own thing?
It's its own thing. I've never read anything else.
Is that the one where he gets with Elektra?
So no, I didn't seem like that's what it was, but I could be wrong too.
Okay.
There was one where he has a one night fling with Elektra in it, and I was like, oh, is that the one?
Is that in there, Tom?
I don't know, maybe.
Is that in these ones? No,
Yeah.
He's never with Elektra in these ones ever.
Oh, okay.
No.
Might be.
Oh, okay. Taylor's saying it is its own thing, so I'm safe to read it. Cool. Well, I might read that for next week then and redeem myself.
Yeah, I can't imagine how it could even be. It's like a acid trip fever dream. So I don't think it could tie into continuity and anything in any way, but maybe it could. It'd be cool if it did tie into continuity. It would definitely make me want to read more Doctor Strange. But
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, man, it's the best. That's my number one. Everybody, hold up their number one. Let's see it all on the screen at the same time.
Little gallery.
Yeah, those are some good ass books, man. A lot of red.
Oh,
A lot of red.
Yeah, a lot of red. It's a very vivacious color.
that's right. Mark, I don't know, that moment right there when you were holding your book and then you were still visible as well, that's rivaling the Barbie picture. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Is that your number one of 2023 for me?
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
It is an iconic image.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
All right,
good, man.
Pretty
That
good,
was awesome.
pretty good job here, huh? Right?
Yeah, I think we all picked really good things, and we had good it wasn't just the same style of awesome art. It was very different types every time, which I loved.
And how are we choosing the same one, Sam? Isn't that funny?
I just
Literally
think that cover speaks
thousands
for
of
itself.
comics.
Yeah.
That cover just speaks for
That
itself.
good.
I think it's just that good.
Yep.
Awesome. So we will do our. So we'll go back to our regular books now. So if you guys want to do, what are you guys feeling? 2, 3?
I didn't pick up any books, so I am here to listen to what you picked up.
I had a very small week. Every once in a while, you get that week where it's just wow, is that really all I got this week? And that week was this week for me. I have two books that are brand new and one I just bought because I felt like I had not enough books. So if you guys want to do 2, I think that'd probably be pretty clean unless you want to do a third.
No, I obviously didn't pick up books this week. I did read some.
Yeah, throw that out there too.
So I can throw them in there in the mix.
I just got one I want to lift up. So
okay, why don't you start with you, Mark? Then
right on, dude. I have not read this yet, but I just wanted to lift this up. Skeeters issue number 1. Really looking forward to it. I've just read like a preview for it so far. It was really awesome. Should be just an excellent, gross horror bug book. You know, your science fiction creature feature. Really stoked for this one. So check it out if you
looks good.
It up. Yeah.
Gross.
Oh, sick.
Hey, I got this is a side tangent. But you guys ever realize or ever notice that when you're watching a TV show or a movie and they need to show something stinky, that they just make sounds of flies buzzing around and it makes it feel like it smells? Like, oh, look, we're in this like gross basement with blood all around. But if you're like, you're like, oh man, it's been there a while. Gross. I can smell it. I don't know. Side tangent. Sorry.
I sadly can't. I can't smell at all.
Oh.
So like, even if it was like buzzing, I would just like think, oh, is that what's supposed to stink? Got it.
You can't smell. That's like you don't have the smell.
I was born without.
Is your hearing really good?
Nah, man.
I
I wish it worked that way for me.
Yeah.
No, it's just your eyes still suck and your hearing's kind of really bad in one ear still, but you still can't smell. I'm like, oh, great, thanks.
Maybe your spidey sense will come later.
Yeah, but that's like I had to have like a coworker like smell something for me to make sure to see what it would like smell like. It's very
you
weird
can just
to do.
freaking rip ass in front of Sam anytime you want. No
Do you
big
know how many
deal.
times I get blamed for a fart because I didn't react? Like I get blamed so often. It's like, Sam, was that you? I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, I was so Sam. I was like, oh,
You caught me. It's fine.
yeah, I was like, sure, whatever you want to believe, man. But yeah, that's the lore, Sam lore right there. Can't smell nothing.
There you go.
But yeah, let's do. I guess I'll do a book here. You know what? No, I'm not going to do like.
Whoa!
I did pick some books, but I'm going to do this one because it's more on brand for me.
Okay.
I bought this purely because I only got 2 books, and I was like, you know what? I had this sitting in my box. Let's go!
Yeah.
I bought. Yeah, I was like, you know what? What am I waiting on? This is a perfect week to try it. Like, I imagine it's literally the same story I've heard already.
Silas.
Like, oh, my dad. I hate my dad. He saved me, but I hate how he did it. Who knows? I have so much pathos. But even though I joke about it, I do love the story, and I can't wait to actually read it because what is a good story if you can't tell it differently? So I was like, I only had like $8 worth of comics that just felt wrong. So I was like, I'll go grab that out of the box. All right. Yeah. So we'll give it a read. Let y'all know how it is.
Boom. Mine is actually a random one that we got. This is probably a month ago, Sam, or so, but I'm talking offering from Vault Comics, Unnatural Order, issue number 1. I finally had a chance to read this. This book was really interesting. It reminds me a lot of the Mighty Barbarians in a way, because I have issues 1 through 5 of that. I haven't read it yet, though, but the premise of it is just grouping a bunch of randos together to do something, and that's kind of what this is. But I will say that it was really interesting with this book. First of all, artwork was outstanding. I mean, I crushed this, and I did it happily. I love the concept of it, but it's been a while since I've seen a druid as the antagonist in such a gory fashion. Like, there's a scene where, we're in the burning pits where they're just literally burning people, and then there's wolves eating people alive and stuff. Like, it's pretty crazy. It doesn't hold back, but that's typical Vault fashion. I also might be slightly biased because there's the autumnal ad in the back of the book. And you know how I feel about that. It's just right up there with Dark Avengers. But I ultimately definitely worth a look, you guys. Give it a try, check it out, and shout out to Vault Comics. And yeah.
Yeah, I gotta read that still. It's on the to be read pile.
Yeah, check it out, man. I was actually really surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Mark, do you want to have another one, or like?
Yeah, actually, I thought of one more. I'll go ahead and show. Have not read anything from this week yet, but talking about Creep Show, there was a Christmas issue to come out this week, so you got the Creep right there, chilling in a reef. So get your Christmas cheer, get your Christmas creep on, get your Creep Show.
Christmas creep on.
That's awesome.
Taylor, I saw your comment. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.
Have a good night,
Taylor.
I guess I have one other one. If you've been listening, or just like hear me rant or rave at all, you can see that I really have been enjoying this Fantastic Four run.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what's so enjoyable about it is it kind of feels like a modern take on what Fantastic Four used to be, which is like a single issue kind of like things that get resolved at the end of the thing. Here's your cool idea. Didn't you think that was cool? Great. By the next issue kind of thing. And this is kind of like a modern interpretation of that, where you're still getting a cool concept. You get to it delves into it just enough to where you can think, yeah, that is kind of interesting. And then it goes like, oh, did you have fun? And you're like, yeah, what's the next issue? I'm ready. And just been fun. The guy who does it, his last name is North. He's been making a good thing out of this. The characters feel, well, to me, in character, which is sometimes they make Reed overly dick, like where he's like, I hate all my family. I wish they'd go away. Or they make some of the older comics made Sue just so naggy. I hated that. But this one, I think they feel like a family that loves each other. They fight, but they don't it's not ridiculous. Enjoy it. And Alex Ross covers.
What are the kids like in this one?
They are not here yet.
Oh, gotcha.
Because if you're not reading it, I don't want to spoil why they're not there.
Gotcha. Cool.
Galactus.
That's like a big that was like the big thing that hit the run where it's just like, hey, where's everybody at? That's the main gist of it. And they explain it to you in issue 3 or 4, I think. And then they just were like, okay, don't worry, they'll be back soon. But while they're gone, here's some classic style Fantastic Four stories. How about that? Yeah, let's go. 100% with that.
Final book I wanted to lift up was actually an IDW offering. This is issue 1, so it's from a few months ago, but still, I believe, coming out. The Hunger in the Dusk, issue number 1, by G. Willow Wilson. G. Willow Wilson. Excuse me, I can't talk. G. Willow also rocking Poison Ivy, which I love that ongoing. So I saw this and I'm like, hey, I like fantasy. I love G. Willow, so I'm going to check this out. And I was not disappointed at all. Interior artwork is solid. It is truly just almost as if I was watching this on a Amazon or Netflix animated special, but just so concise, so crisp. And I loved it from cover to cover. So I know there's more issues out there. I'll probably keep my eye out for them and see if I can't just piece it together, the thrill of the hunt, as I travel to different shops. And see if I can't assemble those Avengers. But I am really excited to continue with that story.
Would you say that is a easy to understand book for it's not trying to drown you in lore immediately?
Nope, you just jump right in.
Because I feel like that happens a lot with hard fantasy stuff. They're
yeah.
you an hour's worth of lore, and then you can read the story.
No, it does a really good job. I mean, for me, I felt welcome throughout the whole thing.
Okay, well that's good because it looks kind of cool. I mean, I feel like I need to read more fantasy lately. Maybe I'll check it out. Otherwise, that's it for books for me, guys. Do you have anything last you'd like to lift up, everyone?
No, man. It was good to see everyone's covers. It's always fun to get doing the countdowns, of 2023. Good to see what books you guys are still getting. Love it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to take this over to Johnny so he can do his.
Whoa.
Yep,
you get the reins.
Yeah.
You get the reins. You take the reins, buddy.
I don't remember the outro.
You're going to make up your own.
All right. Well, okay then. Fine. So I have been NoleMan12. You can go check me out on TikTok if you so desire. I put some stuff out there. It's mostly about a little challenge I've been doing. Maybe I can debut it for you next week. Right next to me is Tom Stu Divine. He is the man, the myth of mystery. We don't know what he's going to be doing next. We have John on demand. What does he have on demand? Everything. You just didn't know it yet.
Or nothing.
And then the pinnacle, the lone one, the one above all, Mark C. Shelton. And as we go, guys, you have a wonderful night. If you didn't pick up your books yet, feel free to go and get them, or read the stuff you haven't read yet. That's kind of a hint to what my little surprise for next week's going to be. So we all have a wonderful rest of your night, and keep it comics.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, God.
Do you want me to hit that end stream?
Please hit the end button.
Hit
if you would.
you're gonna